Well, we're just gonna start the meeting. I don't know where Dave is, so I will start the recording.
I think it's already recording, it says.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, you're right. So before we start the meeting, I will read the virtual meeting information for the 100th time. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law and the governor's March 15, 2020 order imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place, this meeting of the Hubbardston Parks Commission will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information and the general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and or parties with a right and or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the town website. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately assess the proceedings in real time via Zoom. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on the town's website a comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. So today is December 28th, 2020, and the meeting is opening at 7:18. So we do have Girl Scouts here. So I don't know if everyone printed out the agenda, but I did want to mention that I noticed the minutes from our last meeting in November didn't get sent out. So I don't think anyone has a copy of them. So I'm just going to table that and move that to our next meeting. So we will start with the Girl Scouts. We have a number of participants here today. We have Katie Young and her assistant, I guess, Deb Kajala. And she has a number of Girl Scouts who are here to present their BAT project, their BAT house project. We were emailed the project plans. So why don't we let them take it away, and we'll start with that.
Deb, you want to talk or you want me to talk?
Do you have a Girl Scout who can represent, a Girl Scout themselves who can represent it?
Yeah, one of the girls needs to present it.
Okay. Izzy, Brielle, or Liv are all here. Anybody want to start talking? Oh, here comes Izzy.
I can.
All right, go ahead, Izzy.
Hi, Izzy.
Hello. For the bat houses that we'll be making, we're planning to make at the minimum 5 and at like the maximum amount 10. And the reason that we're trying to do this is to solve a problem that's been going on near the community rec field for quite a while now. Mosquitoes, bugs, a bunch of things, and we want to be able to start cutting down those populations because it's a big problem for a lot of people. But yeah. For these bat houses, we're going to need about roughly 10 cut to size pieces for each bat house of plywood, and screws, and hopefully a good enough screwdriver that will actually help us put the screws in the wood itself, which my family can most likely provide if my dad lets me use his tools.
Good thing to learn. Use power tools. Yes.
And I have a bunch of the sizings on my phone. So we already know where, and I wrote those down for the other girls here, and Katie, she has the paper with everything on it. And we were researching a while and figured out that for this, we're going to need to have the bat houses positioned where they can get roughly 6 hours of sunlight every day, because that's how the bat houses themselves stay warm, so the bats don't really like freeze to death or anything, because they need a lot of warmth when they're going to sleep. And It's going to take about 1 to 2 years for the bat houses to become inhabited because the bats need time to get used to the new places for them to sleep. So this is probably going to be a long-term project and not just something that we like do overnight and then leave. So these, like the materials we're gonna need overall is plywood. There's actually a big, huge free plywood thing near the park itself that's on the side that we can supply it from, so we don't actually need to buy any of the plywood itself. And as a backup plan, if the screws don't actually work to like get it to the trees and such, we can use rope actually and tie it around the tree itself into branches, and hopefully mesh wire inside of the bat houses themselves so the bats have somewhere to hang. Because if they don't, then they can't really like dig their claws into the wood, or it might actually hurt the bats themselves. And the placement that we're actually looking to put these bat houses themselves is along the front of the back walking path in the rec field itself, because that's like where the sunlight mostly goes. So it's not like out in the open where people can try to like throw rocks at it or anything. So the bats themselves can stay completely safe as long as like it's not painted on or anything. And we want to leave this plywood itself like completely just alone. We don't want to do anything to it so the bats don't have any chance of getting like intoxicated or anything. So they can be like perfectly all set, like in the 1 to 2 years that they inhabit it, that's their home. There's nothing we can do to like harm them or anything. There's not going to be any paint toxins, anything. They're going to be completely fine. And the place that we're actually looking to put the bats on the trees themselves is around 15 feet in the air, which we're going to need a ladder for. And ladders are relatively easy to find around that kind of height because I researched that bat houses themselves, for the bats to be able to actually get into the bat houses themselves, it has to be between 10 to 20 feet in the air. To level that out, we're going to go with 15. So we don't have to get too high up, but the bats won't be too low to the ground. And yeah, that's really hopefully what we're looking for. And we want to make safe, inhabitable homes for these animals so they can help us out and they have somewhere nice to sleep so they don't get cold at night, because I know that they need to hibernate a lot so they get warmth and somewhere that they won't like feel unsafe in. So then they just have a happy home.
That sounds like a great plan. A couple questions I have is, have you walked through there and marked like any trees, like so you know like which trees aren't going to get too much shade because they have a lot of branches and leaves and stuff like that? I mean, have you walked through there and just tried to mark out, you know, 10 or 15 or 20 when you think you're doing 10 of them, trees that, you know, you won't have to trim the branches or anything? I just don't know if that might be something that might have to be done, and maybe we can help you do that if it needs to.
We haven't gone through yet, but we're planning to do that soon so we can actually like figure out which ones get the most sunlight during the day. But we're trying to look for between 5 to 10 of them.
Okay. When do you think you're going to be putting these up?
It might take a bit to put together the houses themselves since we need it like cut to size, but we're looking to
Like spring or the summer? I mean, I'm sure this winter you're probably not going to do it.
yeah, we're looking to do it more of like the spring, summer.
Yeah, springtime would be the beginning of the, well, not beginning of spring, but springtime, once everything thaws,
Yeah.
and we can get and actually do stuff.
Yeah.
So then the bat houses like themselves can get warm first, so they're not just like frozen.
Do you have a budget for this materials, or are you looking to have Parks make a donation to your project?
We don't have a budget yet. We're still figuring that part out. But hopefully there can be some sort of donation that we can set up.
Absolutely. Usually when people do come with a project, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, what have you, oftentimes Parks will make a donation towards their materials, whatever you need. I can tell you, we do have plywood already in our inventory. We have some, probably not enough to make 10 bat houses, but we do have some. So I think this is a great plan. I think it's, there is a big problem down at the rec field, and it'd be nice to see this really be successful.
Mhm.
This is a good plan, well presented. Nice job, Izzy. The question I have is, I understand the bat houses and why you want to put them up. What does this support? Is this like, I saw something about, is it a gold star, or is this to get some kind of a achievement within the Girl Scouts?
It's for me and the other girls' silver award
Silver award, sorry.
for Girl Scouts. Yeah.
And that's like, is that the, can you, what is the silver award?
It's basically what's the next step up from our bronze award, which is one of the like big achievements in Girl Scouts. There's 3 like really big achievements that you get throughout your entire years of doing Girl Scouts, which is the bronze award, the silver award, and the gold award. The gold award is more of an independent thing, but the silver award we usually do with groups from like 2 to 4 or 5 girls in each group. So me and the other girls that are doing this one really want to like help out with the rec field and everything that goes on there, because a lot of sports and such, like they have huge issues with the mosquitoes, and I know this from experience because I used to do softball.
Right.
And we just really want to help out with all the issues there. So that's what we decided on.
Nice, thank you.
Does anyone have any other questions from the parks? No?
I'm all set.
I'm good.
Well,
I think she did a great job. I must say she did a great job.
yeah, did a great job presenting. Does anyone else want to add anything? Any of your other Girl Scout peers?
I do.
Izzy pretty much.
Go ahead, Izzy.
No, it was Olivia. Was she talking?
I was just saying that Izzy pretty much summed up the whole thing. There's not much to add, really.
How many girls are participating in this project?
Just us 3, I think.
The 3 of you?
No,
Oh.
5 of us, me, Liv, Brielle, Adeline, and also Mariah. So it's just the 5 of us.
Okay. What level of Girl Scouts are you girls at this point?
We're all relatively the same. We've been doing Girl Scouts for a few years. I'm a cadet.
Debs? Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, well, if there aren't any more questions or any more comments from the leaders, the co-leaders, or anyone else, Parks will just vote now as to whether we think this is a project that we should support. And we'll go from there. Can someone make a motion?
Make a motion that we support this project.
I second the motion.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, great. Anything else? So what I would ask you to do, girls, is to maybe get back to us later on with a more specific time frame and a budget. And we will see about how we can contribute to the expenses of your project. Okay. Is there any specific paperwork you need signed or anything like that, saying that you've presented this project? Anything that's more formality to present to the Girl Scouts?
They do. They actually need a letter stating that you've given approval for them to do the project.
Okay.
And they have to submit that with their initial paperwork to do request to do the silver award.
Okay. And who is the letter made out to?
Silver award committee. Girl Scouts, Central and Western Mass.
And can that be done, Central and Western Mass, okay. Can that be done by an email or do you want a physical letter?
If you email it to either myself or Katie, I can just print it out and give the girls a copy.
Okay, that'd be great. We can do that. One other thing related to the Girl Scouts, that we might as well all talk about right now, seeing we're all here, is we received a, field request from them to do a drive up cookie booth at the rec field. They want to do it in the parking lot. Is that true, Katie? That's so Katie
Yeah.
submitted a field request for us to approve in regards to doing cookie booths down at the parking lot.
Yeah, and this is for all of Girl Scouts, not just our troop. It would be between January through mid-March when we get cookies in, and we'd obviously, the troops, there's 4 troops in town and we take turns, but Art isn't allowing cookie booths this year. And normally we do them at over by the diner and at the Pizza Palace. Pizza Palace is going to be a little tough because that was indoor thing and we can't really do an indoor cookie booth. I'm going to ask the diner as well, but we just need a spot to be able to have cars be able to drive through, so that way we can do a cookie booth in a safe manner if troops choose to do them, or parents on their own choose to do them. And it's going to be one of those things, some people will want to and some people won't, so it's going to be kind of hit and miss. I'm just looking for an overall kind of like yes, and we'll sort out, we'll make sure we're not in the way. There'll be, you know, small amounts of girls there, be like a couple parking spots being taken up usually at the most. And it's more of a people drive in and drive, you know, buy cookies straight out of their car. They don't even get out and then they drive off. So I'm just looking for spots to actually have it. I've already approached the Board of Health. I haven't gotten any pushback yet. So I'm going to follow up with them as well to make sure that we're good, but we're just trying to get all of our permissions in order.
Yep. So the only thing I can think of is I just have to see about how this falls under insurance purposes. I know when the Boy Scouts do their recycling day, they always submit to us an insurance waiver through the Boy Scouts that it's a Boy Scout project and it's insured. They give us the Boy Scout of America insurance form completed. So I don't know if you have one of those from the Girl Scouts.
Nope. Nope.
My guess is if it's a Girl Scout project, then it's because Girl Scouts have insurance like Boy Scouts do. I mean, that's all part of the dues and everything, I think. So, so that's the only thing I would say that I would have to look into.
Actually, the opposite, Sanda, we have to provide, like, so if I have a Girl Scout troop meeting at my house, I have to provide that I have insurance to Girl Scouts. It's the opposite with Girl Scouts.
Okay.
So yeah, awesome, huh? Right?
Yeah, that's kind of interesting because when I did Girl Scouts, we always had to get permission from the powers that be because they had to make sure that it was an approved event so that insurance would cover us. When it was, it's in the public. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's because like the school and stuff, they always get permission and stuff, but yeah, they don't, I have to get permission, like to do Girl Scouts at the school, we have to get permission from the school and they don't, I think they still ask for a certificate of insurance from the school, believe it or not, just so that way it's like a double coverage. Because I do know what you're saying is correct, because if we got into a car accident somewhere, Girl Scouts would cover. There is insurance, but
yeah,
they don't do it the same way as Boy Scouts. It's weird. I'm not sure how that works.
So one of my only thoughts is, what if you're setting up a booth and a girl slips on ice and breaks her leg? I mean, who's responsible? So not that would happen. Hopefully that nothing like that would happen. But if you're doing it in the wintertime, is the town responsible for making sure that parking lot is cleared if we've okayed you to do this project and use that parking lot? Do you know what I'm saying? So I just want to run it through the town just to see their thoughts on it. And you might want to see if the Girl Scouts would cover insurance in case something happened. I mean, I'm not exactly sure which way to do it. So I'm going to ask them first.
Deb, do we have to do the travel activity for cookie booths?
Yes, we do. And that's why I'm thinking if it's gonna be a liability issue, like she said, if somebody falls. What about the pallet place?
Well, it'd still be, I'm just saying, does travel and activity cover it?
But you have to provide proof that they have a certificate of insurance. They ask that it's there, and you have to enclose it if it's not in their file with all, the list I have.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know if we could bypass it by saying, yes, we have a certificate, because we've done the things at field day at the rec field. We had the booth, so
Yeah.
it may not be something that we need because we did the booth, so they gave us permission. I'll have to pull the old permission things to see what we did in regards to the insurance on those.
Well, yeah, because I think a lot of times it depends on who's running the event. Like if
Right.
the Parks runs the event, then you're covered under the town insurance because the Parks is running this event. And some people will come to us and say, will you run this event? We'd like to hold this at your park. And if we think it's a project we want to support, we'll say, yep, the Parks will sponsor this event so that they have the insurance. So with this one, I'm just not sure. I mean, I don't know if the Parks can actually hold a Girl Scout event. Do you know what I'm saying? So why don't you find out, Deb, about the insurance and whether that would work as the travel, whatever you were talking about, the travel insurance.
Yep.
Just get back
Yeah, I
to
can-
me in an email
pull
and
it.
I'll let you know what I find out.
Okay,
And
yeah,
I'll
I'll
be
check
honest,
it out.
I wouldn't be as concerned if it was not wintertime. I mean, my thoughts are, what if there's a snowstorm and there's a big pile of a snowbank, someone doesn't see you guys out there? That would be my only concern. But I'm sure, Katie, you wouldn't be holding this.
Yeah, no,
Parking lot was not cleared and various, I mean, right now there's no snow, so it's not a problem.
yeah, no. The troops usually, it's, they stand out there for like 2 hours. So
Yeah.
it's really cold really quick. And yeah, if it's like a miserable, yucky day, trust me, even standing in front of Walmart, it's freezing. And even though there's a shade of a building to try to block some of it, yeah, no, it's absolutely miserable. So if it's like super snowing and there's not going to be a ton of traffic, it just gets canceled. They don't even, it's just, yeah.
So maybe.
I don't know. I've seen what Katie's willing to do to sell girls.
What was that? I missed it.
Yeah, we missed it.
I said, I've seen what you're willing to do to sell Girl Scout cookies. I think you need the warning.
Well,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. They do a good job.
Yeah, they do. So I'm just going to throw this out because it's been something that I've been kind of on my head. So we're getting the ice rink up and running. And I said, geez, wouldn't it be kind of fun to hold a winter carnival day? Invite kids to come ice skating, maybe have a outdoor fire pit going, just like a Saturday. Maybe we could do the cookie booth at that time and cover it under like the winter carnival event.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's something I'm going to throw out to the
That
park
might work.
if they're interested. But I decided it'd be kind of fun to, if we're going to put all this effort into putting an ice skating rink, why not invite people to kind of have a fun day for it,
Yeah.
So
Yeah. We'll be all in. Trust me.
yeah. So I'm just saying, at least that'd be one way we could probably invite you and you'd be covered under the insurance, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
So, that's something we'll be in touch with. We got to get ice to form on it first.
Yeah. Problem number one,
Yeah. Well, they're putting it in they're putting the water in tomorrow. So
Okay.
hopefully
All right.
that'll
Yeah.
go well.
Shouldn't be long, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll be in touch.
All right. I think that's all we got then for
Yeah.
us. And you guys
Yeah,
can
but
go.
the bat project sounds like a great project and I'll get a letter out to you.
Awesome. Thank
Thank you.
Bye, girls. Thanks for attending.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
ladies. Nice. Well done.
Yeah, good job, girls.
I think Dave's on the call. You might want to, do we have to add him?
I do. I
He's
think
an attendee.
yes,
I think you have to make him a panelist.
there he is. And I'm gonna make him a panelist. Let's see if I got him to come over. Dave, talk. Allowed to talk? Yes.
There he is.
Is he there?
He showed up on our screen. Unmute, Dave.
All right. Can you hear
There he
me?
is. Welcome back.
I've logged off and logged back on like 3 times, not being able to figure out why you couldn't hear me.
Oh, and I didn't see you up there while we were talking to the Girl Scouts. Were you able to hear anyone?
Yes, yeah, that was what a difference between listening to the Boy Scouts present and the Girl Scouts present. They were so much more fluid.
Yeah. So, well, that's good. And that's a great project. Hopefully, it will attract bats and it will help with the problem down there. So moving on, I don't know if anyone pulled up their agendas, but the new grant pros and cons. So as I was mentioning, we did not get the Parks grant, but there was this other new grant that was available. And I did sit in on the webinar. I meant to pull it up. I actually have it downstairs. I don't know how involved you guys want to know about it, but it's called the Land and Water Grant. And it has to do, one of the things it will cover is renovating old parks. And I should go get it. So I listened to the webinar. We could apply for the grant, but it really is talking about removing pavement, placing lots and lots of trees, as I said, not just a couple trees, but replacing pavement with trees, and putting in a water feature that allows people to cool off in the summertime, doing, while they're out doing their recreational activities and getting overheated. It talks about, so I can't think of what else it talked about. I mean, personally, I personally feel that our playground project isn't going to meet the criteria. And I would hate to hold up installing the new playground to wait for this grant to be decided, which would be the end of June 30th. I can send you all, though I should have sent you all, the link to the Parks grant and the criteria for it if you wanted to all read it. But I guess I just wanted us to discuss whether we think it's worth holding off applying for this new grant and waiting to see if we get additional money. I mean, I hate turning down money, but I also hate waiting and not getting money either. And that last grant Ryan and I put together was a phenomenal grant, and we got turned down. I think a lot of it is Hubbardston. I think it's, we're very rural. We have a lot of open space. I just think we don't have a lot of diversity in our town, and I think we just get overpassed. So, but if anyone else thinks it's worth looking into, and
I think there's the potential though of also adding cost to the project by trying to figure out how to add a water feature. And, I'm sure there are probably some requirements as to what kind of water feature they're looking for. And that could add cost to the project that there doesn't benefit, doesn't outweigh the cost of the value of the grant.
and that's a good point. And my other thinking is do we have to now go back to CPA and change our CPA application? And would we have to then go through another town meeting? And what if it gets turned down?
Right.
I mean, I hate to risk it myself. I do feel that the walking path and that whole area, maybe we could consider coming up with a new project that we could apply to that grant for, that might address the heat issue and the water issue and all that. But I think our current playground project isn't really going to qualify.
Right. I agree.
I agree too.
Okay. So everyone's comfortable with not going forward. I mean, we don't have to do it, but I just wanted to make sure I put it out there in case people thought it was worth holding off the project, trying to get more money. which would be nice. But
I think you're right, though. I think for future projects, particularly the walking track, if we can incorporate maybe whatever their requirements are for this new grant into that project, we might have a better shot of actually getting something for that.
yeah, I would agree. I would agree. And maybe
Right.
we should look at that as one of our other projects, you know, for the not too near future.
Yeah.
Yep. Were you gonna say something? I guess not. All right, so we'll move forward then. So I'm not going to apply for that grant. The next thing on the agenda is our budget, and I have to tell you, I forgot to print out the most recent expense warrant. So I don't have those figures in front of me, but I think the last time we talked, we had about $1,800 still in our budget. And I know we paid like $200 to White Turf for closing the irrigation system. And then also we had to replace the lights on the Christmas tree. And that I think was around $175, if I remember. So I'm going to say we roughly have about $1,400 in the coffers still. That will take us through June 30th. So what I'll do is at the next meeting, I'll try to get more concrete numbers, but that should be about right for now.
Well, we really don't have any expenses coming up until the spring anyways.
Yeah, we don't. And, but one of the things that we're gonna have to look at is, yeah, getting the, having someone look at the pump, because I think we might have a problem with the well pump. So we're gonna probably have to have someone look at that, later on. But you're right, we don't have many expenses right now. And, you know, until we have to open up for the spring.
Right.
So the next thing on the agenda is we had to cancel our joint Board of Selectmen meeting, which I think was supposed to be like November 16th or 18th or something like that. So they wanted to know if we wanted to join their January 4th meeting, which actually would be next Monday. We don't all have to be there. It's not necessarily, we don't have to have a quorum. They just want to have a meeting with us just to see where we're doing, touch base, see if we have any questions for them, see if there's anything that they can work with us. We do have a liaison from the Board of Selectmen, and I can't remember his name, but I have emailed him back and forth a little bit. He's not actually. Huh?
Chris Parego.
Yes. He's actually not a Board of Selectmen. I take that back. He's on capital planning. So he reached out to us. He's like our liaison to go to Board of Selectmen if we have any capital planning questions or projects. And I basically kind of laid out where we're at right now. So, but the Board of Selectmen meeting, joint meeting will be January 4th. I think they would like to see some of us appear. So if you can just all if you can all send me a text like in the next day or two, just saying whether you can or cannot attend that meeting, then I can either say that's a good date for most of us to join, or we can say that date doesn't work. Can we come to another meeting? And it doesn't matter when we come, they just want to touch base.
Said I could probably do the 4th.
Okay. I think they meet at 6:30 and they'll put us on their agenda. So then we can at least get on the agenda. I know I can do it. So I don't know if anyone else can, but I know 2 meetings in a row on Mondays. I hate to do that to you, but it's how it's working out. But everyone, like I said, just let me know and then I'll let them know whether to add us to their agenda or not. So the next thing on the our agenda is the ice rink, and I want to thank you all for coming out on Sunday morning and helping out to get that up and ready. And I don't know if everyone saw, but I did include everyone on that email with the Chief of Fire Department, Bob. Did everyone see all that?
Yep.
Yeah,
I saw your email, but I didn't see a reply.
Right, he didn't reply to us.
Oh, he didn't reply? Okay, he did reply to me. So they want to do it tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock.
Okay,
No sleeping in.
So what's that's fine. What's the plan? They gonna fill it all at once or we do it?
So I told him that we needed, I have no idea how much water the tanker holds or how much water the rink's gonna take. So I gave him the dimensions of the rink and I told him we needed in between 4 and 5 inches of water. And he came back, he said they do it tomorrow morning. He said, please be advised, the water will probably be a little brownish from the inside of the tanker as well as from the water just naturally here in Hubbardston tends to, when you pull it from the pond, it's gonna be.
right.
He did say
figure.
that there were a few clearer springs in town that they might try to get the water from. But I was trying to give him an idea of how much water we would need, but I guess they could dump it back from wherever they got it. But I think we need a few of us there because I think we need to maybe be around it to make sure, that the liner doesn't slip all the way in or, the liner stays intact, whatever. So if anyone can make it tomorrow, that'd be great.
I can be up there at 8.
Okay, yeah, I'll be there at
Yeah.
8. So,
I can be there too.
all right. So we can do that and then we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I've never filled an ice rink, so I have no idea. But so, all right, we got to wind up here because I know the Patriots are on in 6 minutes.
Ooh.
Anyone have any questions about the ice rink and that we'll meet tomorrow morning? Anyone want me to pick up
No.
coffee for them?
Pick a what?
Coffee?
Yes, please.
No.
I can do a run to Dunkin' Donuts. I live pretty close to it.
Yeah, I'd just take a regular with cream only, please.
All right. Anyone else?
I'll get my own.
So, well, I've got to bring Sarah to work tomorrow, so I'm going to be running right by the D&D. So, all right. Let's see. Any old or new business we need to discuss?
I don't think so.
No.
We're in good shape.
All right.
One thing I will mention, I guess as new business, if you're talking to Ryan,
Mhm.
I don't know if you guys noticed when we were up there the other day that path heading up to the bandstand has a massive gap in it. I'm afraid
Yes,
that
yeah.
if they plow it, that their plow is going to get caught in that gap and it's going to cause more damage to the path. I don't know if there's anything they can do to repair it, fill it, do something. Do you know if you'd be talking to not Ryan,
Travis?
Travis? Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so you-
maybe yeah, it is pretty wide. I noticed that too. I'm wondering if like a couple bags of stone dust or something like that would fill it. What do you think, Jay?
Cold patch, something. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. The gap is like 2.5, 3 inches wide. It's sizable where if a plow falls in there, that's gonna. I just think it's gonna ruin the path.
It's pretty deep too. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if they saw it. It's quite visible now that the snow's gone, but we should probably bring it up to Travis. So it looks like they did a really good job of plowing last time, and maybe it fills with snow, and maybe it's not an issue. I don't know, but I just thought we should mention it before it becomes a big problem or a bigger problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
If they have something that maybe they get something they could just like throw in there and compact it for now, like you said.
I guess
That's a
I
good
could
idea.
stop in and talk to Travis tomorrow morning since we're going to be out and about.
yeah, they open at 7.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe after our visit there tomorrow morning, I'll stop down and talk to him. But I just thought it's worth mentioning that we should bring that up.
Okay. It's all yours, Jay.
I got it.
Yeah, so I'll tell you, I was surprised it was so warm today, but it got pretty warm today. So I'm hoping that by getting this filled tomorrow, it will get cold and it will freeze over and we can actually start to enjoy it.
Yeah, it's supposed to get cold later this week, I think.
Yeah, so that'll be good. All right, unless anyone has anything else they want to talk about, someone can motion to adjourn and we can all see each other in the morning.
I motion to adjourn.
I second the motion.
A third.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.